share the screen over here on the button. And start recording over there too. All right, hello. Welcome to OOP345NAA, winter of 2025. My name is Fardad Salimanlu. Please call me Fardad. You're going to see that. So this is my name. Okay. And this is my last name. Okay, so just you need it for email. Just click on it and go through. You don't need to try to pronounce it. I can't do it myself. Okay, so it's Fardad. That pronunciation, native pronunciation is Fardot, but when I speak English, I call myself Fardad too. So Fardad it is. Call me Fardad, not Professor, not Mr., not Sir, not especially not Mr. Salimanlu. Don't do that. That's me. First, we're going to start with this. Let me just see if we have the speakers over here. Land acknowledgement. I always do that at the beginning of each semester, and I tell people don't think that we are just doing it for the heck of doing it, okay? Really, when you have time, do a little research on it.
아니, 세고, 배그tit, niwi, kidme, mampi, eyang, Anishinaabe, Asian Kwazant, Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation, Mige, Windak, Pine, Gayat, Mampi, Akke.
Bojo, Wache, Beshaga Mampi, Williams Treaty Ge.
We are on their land, so you have to acknowledge it. That's the beginning of the semester. Now, as I said, the class is online. So if you click over here, you're going to go to what we call Big Blue Button. Sadly, this is the last semester that we are going to use this. The reason I say sadly, because lots of Seneca code is in that. Lots of OOP344 at the time. Students were hired as research assistants and contributed to that application, which is the online conferencing system. Okay, so yeah, so we are using that for the last semester. After that, probably we're going to move to Teams, but you just click over here, and it brings you to an LTI link, and you click over here, and it's going to bring you to the Big Blue Button session that we are in right now. And all the things that we've already talked about in class will go in here, which means the recordings are going to be here. It's so you can rewatch the recordings from previous sessions. You can click on Join Session. The sessions that you're coming in is not listen only. Okay, if you want to join in as listen only, don't. Do it afterwards. Don't have a fake existence on the things. Okay. If you are joining, please try to have a headset and with a microphone and earbuds. So when your name comes up, you can answer a question. And anybody comes over there, we do full duplex communication between you and I. And yeah, so I expect you, if you are joining online, to participate in class. So when you essentially run it, you're going to see something like this. Okay, and over here are going to be a list of all the users. In here, you're going to see pull requests coming up, which I'll ask you, do you understand this or not? You say yes or no, and I see who's actually responding. So it's a system. And the little thing over here you see, because I'm sharing it small. For you, it's going to be big, and you can make it full screen, and you're going to see the content of the screen as I'm talking about it. You can always activate your microphone and talk. You don't need to ask if I can speak or not. It's like class. So if you have any questions, just start talking. Interrupt me, okay? There's no problem with that. If your question is not urgent, you can put it in a chat. But as you see, when I actually put this thing over there, what I'm looking at is the screen that I'm using to teach you. So I will not see the chat messages. If you are in an online session and you see I ignored the message, simply say, Farhat, there's a question in the chat. Take a look at it. So I notice it. I'll try not to have class cancellations, but as you get older, it becomes inevitable every now and then. If that's the case, 90% of the time, we go full online. So I'll tell you that the class is going to be online, if that's the case. If I can speak, still talk. If I can't talk, then that's a different thing. Now, for the addendum and subject outline information, it takes you to the SYL system, which is this one. Now, in here, I linked it to the NBB section. Don't tell me it's not going to come. Magic? No? There you go. So anything you want to know, and in here it's going to say NBB, I think, somewhere. Yeah. I'll change that to NAA when it's ready, okay? Because they're still copying stuff, and I have to make changes and so on and so forth. So that's the course information, all the things that we have. So what we learn and what we are going to talk about and everything. So it's in flexible mode, as we said, so you can be at home or here. I strongly suggest to come to class, okay? It's a better environment, quicker environment, and just take a look at this. This class is 40 people right now, supposed to be. Count and see how many people are in class, okay? If anybody is listening to this recording at home, OOP345 is not OOP244. You cannot just pass it. You have to study, and you have to study hard. Okay, there are concepts over here that gets very complicated. It's essentially advanced C++. So we're not only going to learn how to program, but we're going to learn how to write 4 programs that run at the same time. Things like that. So it's a more complicated thing, and there are lots of syntax involved. So and understanding of different concepts as we are going through it. So you would be hearing about it. You've heard about it before, like when I say templates, you heard something in OOP244, but when you get in here, you see it's a completely different ballgame. I'm not saying it's a difficult subject. It's actually an easy subject to pass, but only if you be on track. There are going to be 4 workshops. Let me just go through it. So time and location and all stuff, please don't. Again, this is for B section. As soon as A section comes up, I'm going to update it to your section. Okay? So it talks about all the things that you are going to learn in here. So we're going to go through it. Prescribed text. It says none over here. I'm going to update that one. You have been to OER, the OOP2441, right? It's the same thing over here. You can go over there, and all the codes are, all the notes are online. It's written by dear friend Chris Shavinsky. So you have all those over there. I will add that one over there. And I'm going to add another link over here so you can go from here, but from my Seneca, there's a link for it too. You have workshops for 20%, and that's it. That's the only thing that is non-proctored. So it's not you are doing it at home. Everything else over here is under close scrutiny. So I'm going to actually take a look at it. You're going to do it in a lab. On Blackboard, your computer is going to be blocked. You're going to hand in all your cell phones, smart devices, and everything. No reference sheet is allowed for any test, quiz of any kind. So you are not allowed. The only thing you're allowed to bring is a blank paper in case there's a walkthrough and you want to jot something down. Okay? Good news is that I'll tell you what the questions are the day before. Okay? So you know what I'm not going to tell you exactly what the questions are, but I'm going to say you're going to have a question on this and that, so on and so forth. Okay? So you know what the questions are when you're coming. So you study for it, you come and you do it, and you go. So if you don't do the walkthroughs, if you don't do the workshops, you won't be able to do the tests or quizzes. If you do the workshop, you're going to ace them, okay? And where the questions come from are from the notes that I write in class. So when I do something in class, you're going to see the notes immediately going up on the repository that I'm going to give you the path for. And as soon as you get into that repository, then you have all the good stuff. Anything that I do in class will be directly going on GitHub. So you're going to see everything over there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to issue a workshop today. It's called Workshop 0. So Workshop 0 is not, you have only 4 workshops, right? So Workshop 0 is completely separate from those things. Workshop 0 is essentially for you to set up your computer. If you are my OOP345 student, you've already done that. So that's it, freebie for you. But for the rest of you, you have to create an account on GitHub, a private account, not set under Seneca. Okay, so if you have already done under Seneca, create one private for yourself. Create an identity. Nobody goes through resumes and cover letters and stuff anymore. They Google your name to see what comes up. If you are visible on internet, if you have 5 repositories under your name on GitHub, immediately they know that you're a hands-on work type of person. So I'm helping you with it. So I'll give you the instructions. You create an account on GitHub. You install Git on your computer. You install Tortoise Git on your computer. If you have a PC, if you have a Mac, you're going to do things in command line. I'll tell you how to create a repository and add me as a collaborator, which essentially means you're going to do your work in a GitHub repository, or your workshops, work, practices, and everything. And that becomes a history for me to see how you're doing your studies. So, and the good thing is that if you have any problem or mistakes or anything, you simply book an appointment and send me the link of your repository. I'll open up the repository. I pull it on my computer. I'll fix it in front of you. I push it back. Then you pull and you look at the differences. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll know after the Workshop 0. Okay, I'll explain it briefly today, but that's what it's going to be. So, that's that one. This is the weekly schedule. Essentially replaces what you had before as weekly schedule. Week of these numbers over here, I don't know what the devil you're talking about, but it's week 1, week 2. It keeps going like that. I'll remove all these HTTPS thingies like overview HTTPS. So you're going to have all these things in the, so let me just, I have to actually update that because, where is it? Do I have it here at all? No, let's add it. So I'm going to add it right over here. Create a link. OOP345 study notes. And the URL for it will be this one. You've been here before, right? Yeah, but this is the OOP345 one. So when it says overview, it's right here. You don't need that link thingy over there, so you know exactly what it is. So I'm going to copy this and bring it over here. And save. So that's your study notes. You click over there, and it's going to take you to study notes. Faculty information, office, and help, extremely important. And all the things that I'm talking about right now, this semester I'm trying to do this. So I'm going to create the course policy as a test in Blackboard. And I'm going to give you a couple of days, 2-3 days to do it. So essentially I put the course policy, all the things that we have to follow in this semester. And then I'm going to give you a quiz on it. And you have to get 100% at it, which means I'm going to ask you questions about the policy and you have to answer it correctly. I'm sorry that I'm doing this, but people don't read. I just want to force you to read the policies to see what's going on, okay? Because there are certain things that you have to follow, and if later on it's going to help you. Anyways, Name is Fardat Salimelu. That's my email address, not for subject-related communication. What does it mean? It means if you want to ask me a question or get an extension or do stuff like that, don't send me an email. I don't look at your email until the end of the semester, okay? Use that for log purposes. If you want to, for example, that something happens and you can't come to the test and you don't have access to anything, either you call me or you send an email to me that I got sick and I can't come to the test, for example, right? And then immediately after that, you contact me, and then we're going to go through the details of what needs to be done, okay? Delay is completely, puts me out of power to help you. Like if you, I had a student literally this morning with 49.82% for the average of the semester. And in his midterm, he answered something partially that I could have given 1 mark. And that would have made him 50 point something. And poor guy had to fail the subject because it was midterm and he's bringing it up now. So when some marks come up, as soon as the marks come up on Blackboard, immediately open your test. I'm a human being. I make mistakes. And if anybody tells we don't, they're lying through their teeth. I'm going to make mistakes in marking you. Take a look at the thing. Don't try to, you know what I mean, right? Take a look at the example of the correct response is underneath. You have your answer. Take a look at it. If you see I made a boo-boo, and I may, you simply tell me, Fardat, you made a mistake within a week after you see it. You book an appointment, I'll take a look at it and say, oh, shoot, thank you, and I give you your mark, done. If you let it be, and then after, when final is done, you see you need 0.2% to make that A, B plus an A, and you say, quiz number 2 could have been like that, I can't do it. Please. I don't know how to put it in words. Should I go on my knees and beg you? Please pay attention and pay attention to your studies and let it be important for you, okay? If at the end of the semester you come and ask something that you did at the beginning, that means you don't care. Okay, please, just please read the stuff and be on track, and believe me, everything's going to be fine. Anyways. So, I don't put office hours. I do appointments on Microsoft Teams. Office hours suck, because I put an hour and a half per week for you, and at that time you have English. You know what I mean? You won't be able to contact me. So because each person has a different schedule, I have my schedule on Teams, on Outlook. Like an employee, go to your Microsoft Teams using your Seneca account, then you are a member of Seneca Society. Therefore, you can book an appointment with me, and you can see my schedule. If I were you, I would put your own schedule over there, because you may contact me and I'm not there. Now I want to contact you back. I want to see if you're free or not. Try to be organized. Try to be professional. You're in college now, okay? Let's do that. If somebody honors me to give me, I'm going to open a browser thingy with incognito over here, and I'm going to demonstrate how to book an appointment. But you have to, if somebody needs to come over here and log on my computer. So we'll get to it. So communications happens through Microsoft Teams, through OOP345 Teams. So when you click over here, there's a team created over there. I'm going to give you the code. You're going to become a member of it, and discussions happen over there. Like people have problem with Macs, help each other, because I am completely cuckoo when it comes to Mac. I have no idea how it works and everything. It never clicked for me as a computer. So no disrespect to all those Apple geeks. I just like, yeah. In that Workshop Zero thingy, Workshop Zero is essentially like 13 videos that I put on YouTube. One by one, it tells you how to do it. So actually, I have a MacBook Pro at home that it has pictures of Taylor Swift everywhere now because of my daughter. So I use that one for Xcode to demonstrate. So if it's outdated, sorry, that's the best thing I could do to demonstrate how to do things with Xcode. And then you send private messages on Microsoft Teams. The good thing is that then I have all our communicate in one place. I can see exactly what you talked about and what you have. Don't please go over here and say, Fardad, I got 49%. Can you give me 2 more? Don't do that in front of everyone. Go private message, please, okay? All right, so private stuff, keep it private. And that's that. So if you click over here, I'm just going to do that. 3 years later, I think it's opening now it's going to log me in. Am I logged in? There's nothing in there now. I'm going to give you the code. Okay, let's wait. Ready? So have your Microsoft Team open before you click on that thing. What's going on? Really? Okay, I'll close it. I'm just going to open Teams. Probably I wasn't logged in. Oh, there you go. Now it came up. No, this is last semester, is it? Oh, that's why. Sign in. Boring day, I know. This is the first day. Don't worry, you're going to have your head spin soon, okay? I think there's something with authentication happening today. Ah, here it comes. There we go. I know you can't find it. I deleted it. Okay, so let me just go back. Okay, now I think if I click now, probably it's going to be a better outcome. Let's try it one more time. Yeah, so this is so there's nothing in here yet, but if I recall correctly, I actually manage team. So settings, there should be something over here about a code, team code. There you go. So if you have anything to write that down, you can write that down and join right now, but I will send it as an announcement in the first announcement that I'm sending out. I'm going to put that one in it. So you have the code to join in, okay? I have a script that actually joins everybody automatically. If I find that script, then you will see that you're joined already. But if I don't, then that's going to be the case. Anyway, so yeah, so that's that. If you have major problem with certain topics with 2, 3 people you are working together and you see you have a problem, like for example, we are talking about, I don't know, mutexes and things like that, and you don't understand, or smart pointers, and you don't understand how certain thing work, and 3 of you are studying together, it's a good idea to have a group appointment with me. So book an appointment with 3, 4 of you, and we all get together online, and we'll fix whatever is supposed to get fixed and understand how things work, hopefully. Anyways, so that's that. That's faculty information. The course information, that's what it comes over here. So GitHub organization, this is exactly OOP244. You've seen it in your OOP244 page. And how-to videos for C++ core subjects, that's workshop 0, okay? But workshop 0 has one more thing at the end, that is the creating the, is that the one? Yeah, it's CCWZ1, and it keeps going like that. So it comes right down to here, and then you have another one, and that's the, or 12 and 13 that you actually, so you can start right now doing all these things, make sure your computer is ready, and when it comes to the adding the team to collaborate, adding the repository to collaborate, then that's going to be that. If you are an OOP244 student, please create a new repository. Thank you. Don't use the OOP244, right? Yeah, so this is the organization that I have to fix because right now probably takes us to OOP244. That's right. So the organization is here. Copy. I've logged off everything for that. Cancel. Connecting to your device. New authentication everywhere. Okay, cancel for that. Yeah, sure. Let me wake my device. Sorry about that. Okay. You can do it. Come on. Everything's slow the first day. Anyways, yeah, so that's good. Let that thing connect, and meanwhile, I'm going to go to the thing over here. So this is the organization, and when you get, wow, let me see if I can do something else. Sign in. Authenticator app. That's better. Okay. Yeah, so when you get to the organization, in here, possibly I'm going to add either in here or in my own account on GitHub, I'll create an OOP345 section for the notes that we have. That, if you want to see that, probably you have to go to GitHub/fardat. I was lucky my name was nobody taken when I registered. So you go over there. If you see in here, I have all the lectures from the last semester. So if you click over there, all the last semester stuff are there. And I will add a repository either here. Let me see if last time. Anyways, I'll give you a repository that you're going to see anything that I write in class is going to appear over there. It's going to be either in the reason that I don't want to put it here because I go by class. When things happen, we may deviate off the schedule. And then other classes go on those notes and then help breakthroughs. I don't want that. Okay, so it's possible that I'm going to put that one in a separate place, but this is where you go for your OOP345 workshops and all the things that are going to come up. Okay, so you click over here, and everything's going to appear in there. Workshops, assignments, anything that you have. So that's that one. And quizzes, midterm, final. As we mentioned, let me go back into the addendum. The weights I already mentioned. I already brought it up, but yeah, so 40% is test 2, 30% is test 1, quiz is 10%, and assignment is 20. Let's see if there's anything else over here to discuss. That's it. Now, questions. All yours. Any questions? Pardon me? Didn't work? Really? Okay. Okay, I'll debug that one later. I don't know why. Let me just take a look at it one more time. So this is session help and team code. Did it work? It worked. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So now we have one member. That's good. All right. Yes. Oh yeah, as soon as the reason that I didn't do it because it was a mess. Now I'm gonna open it up and as soon as. But you guys, the thing is that half of you are not here. Like it's supposed to be 40 people. If I just open it now, they're gonna go confused because many things over there are not set properly. But by end of today, it's gonna come online. Okay? I just want to wait for the syllabus to get ready. That they said that they're actually doing it right now. So as soon as it comes up and it's ready, I'll bring that one up. Anything else? Questions? Okay, anybody would like to come over here and see if people see his name and stuff? Log into, can anybody log into Microsoft Teams so I can actually explain how to book an appointment? Anybody wants to do that? No? No one? All right. So, huh? Sure, come. All right. So I'm going to open an incognito one over here. Log in. Thank you. This is the one. Go to the online one. You want me to bring it up? You know where it is? There. Reason that I'm putting my friend over here in such a huge trouble of having his email public online is that many people book it incorrectly and then they get declined. I just want to make sure that we understand exactly how we do it. I think you need your cell phone, right? Oh, it's with you. Okay. Thank you. Just go to your calendar. Go to your calendar. You can actually, calendar, here it is. There we go. So thank you. So if you want to, when you want to book an appointment, what you do, you click over here on new meeting, okay? And immediately go to scheduling. It says over here, I don't know, problem with workshop 1, okay? I would appreciate if over here you put your GitHub URL, GitHub repository URL, so I know where it is, so I can bring it up. Maybe I can go earlier, see what's going on. So you write exactly thank you. Don't worry, I'll log you on. Okay, so then you go to scheduling assistant over here, or just type my name over here, Fardad, and my ugly face is going to be coming up. You click over there, and then you go to scheduling assistant. As you see, it says busy now. So these are the times that I have, as you see. You see that? So you got to say over here, and please don't book an appointment for 5 hours. Okay? You try to keep it for 15 minutes if it's something small, or 30 minutes for something complicated. If we cannot resolve it in that 15 minutes, then together we're going to book another appointment. because many people are going to book and there are going to be problems. So we select that one. So I'm going to click over here, and I'm just going to say send. There you go. So now it is sent over here. Got it. And when I go to mine, I'll see over here that I have, okay? And I'm going to click over here, and I'm going to say decline. Okay, so now it's declined. So I'm going to log you off, turn on. How do you log off? Here? Oh, sign up. There you go. Sign out. Sign out. Yeah, and at the time of the meeting, we both go online. And please do me a favor and check your microphone and stuff. Make sure everything's good. That your computer works for the first time, so you know how your computer behaves. So we're going to have a smooth thing, because usually you book an appointment for 15 minutes, then for 10 minutes we're trying to troubleshoot your microphone, and then yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so that's booking an appointment. Any thing else that you want to ask? Questions, suggestions, objections? Okay, I have a question that I'm asking in 345. It's important to think about it for a second and then ask. What do you want your prof to do? And so you're a happy student, except giving you marks for nothing. Think about it. That this is not a fake thing. I really want to know. Really? No? Nothing? Blank? Yes.
I prefer when a professor, instead of just talking about the concept, just does mostly code.
I never talk. I always code.
Oh, okay.
So I teach with Visual C++, with Visual Microsoft Visual Studio. I'll demonstrate right now how do I do it. So you'll see it, and immediately it's going to come up, and you're going to see the notes over there, and everything's going to. So that I'm happy that I'm already doing that. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Since it's going to be so code-centric, and most likely we will need to be very used to working in C++, basically to have as much practice as possible for the tests.
So practice for the test. So this is a question that everybody asks me, how do we practice to learn how to program? The best way to do it is when I code in class, because almost all the code that I'm doing, I first do it at home. Then I'll bring it over here, and slice by slice, I'll bring it up, or I recode over here, looking at the code that I have done at home. Reason is that in 244, it's not like that. In 244, I do it on the fly, because it's kid stuff. Over here, there are things that really, I made a boo-boo, and I have to sit over there for 15 minutes and debug it. I don't want to do that, right? So after it's done, when you go home, this is what you do. You take a look at the code that I have written in class and the objective of it. Why did I write it, and what does it do? Go through it, study it, understand it, close it, set it aside. Then from memory, try to do the same. After you go through it, I guarantee you won't be able to do it. Okay? Try. It couldn't do it, right? Set your code aside. Now bring mine up without looking at yours. Go back through mine and see how it's done. Put mine aside. Don't put side by side. And bring your code up and try to debug it. I say, this part I made a mistake, that part I made a mistake, and fix it. Keep doing that until you successfully do it. Then close it and do it again. You'll be fine. Okay? The concept is asking, in this day and age, asking I need some, can you give us something to practice? Open up ChatGPT and say, give me a simple practice problem for parallel programming using threads and lock guards. And poof, it's going to create something small for you. Say, don't give me the solution. Then start doing it and see, and then, so you can do that. If I give you something that I have from 20 years ago, it's going to be the same thing over and over and over. The good thing is that over there it changes. And don't always stick to ChatGPT because it brings only from one place. Go sometimes to Copilot and move to Gemini, so keep going back and forth to get different tastes of different things, okay? Another thing that brings us to this AI, okay? When I say AI, everybody have a smile on their face as if I talked about their girlfriend or boyfriend or their child. Oh, AI, I love that. Okay. Don't be a slave to your AI. Make it reverse. Okay? Make AI your employee. Explain what you want, what you desire, and go with that. Don't tell me, give me the solution of this workshop. Do your code yourself, then ask AI, what did I do wrong? Okay? That's how you learn. And I have good news, I have bad news. Bad news is that human beings' mind is wired to think linear. What does it mean? Lion attacks, I have to run. The objective is lion is coming with me with his maximum speed, and I'm running with him now. If I get to the tree, or maybe tree, lion is going to climb to. Bad example, I don't know. Some other thing that he cannot climb a tree. So which one of us is going to get closer to the I'm going to be eaten or not? This is how we wired. But now the technology and the industry is growing exponentially, which means I'll give you an example that I heard from Neil deGrasse Tyson. Okay? If you don't know who the guy is, look at it, listen to his stuff. It's amazing. Anyways, so say you go to a lake and you see there's some algae over there in the lake. Okay? And algae grow, you know what algae are, right? It's vein green. They grow exponentially, right? So you go over there, today you come and tomorrow you're going to see you have more, right? Then you go, you come back after a month, and you see half of the lake is filled with algae. What does your brain tell you? How long it takes for the whole lake to get into, to completely get filled with algae? Another month? No, 1 day. That's exactly, thank you. That's linear thinking. That's when you make ChatGPT do your work. You're going linear. If you learn using ChatGPT, you are going exponential too. Then you can catch up. But if you go linear, you're going to fall behind. There's no question about it. There is so much you can copy. Okay? So that's my advice to you. Use AI to learn, not to do the work for you. And it helps you to be a better student and in future a better employee because you have a butler that does everything for you. Okay? All the dirty work of the stuff. You give it the idea, you do the idea, you build everything, you do the innovation, it does the little fixing and dirty work for you. And then you have a better work to do and you learn better. Okay? So that's my advice. Don't be a slave to AI. Any other question? Sorry, the first day it's this. I know you students say he babbles for 2 hours, preaches, and I know that. But these are important stuff. At least I have something at the end of the semester. I said, didn't I tell you at the first day to do this and that? Okay? At least it gives me that satisfaction. Okay? Anything? Yes?
Are the quizzes bi-weekly or every week?
I'll let you know. But we have 4 quizzes in a semester. Do the math. Okay? So as soon as I see, the schedule says quizzes on week 3. I don't do that. We are studying, and now we see we have enough stuff to do a quiz on. Then I'm going to say next week you have a quiz. With total, we're going to have 4 quizzes. That's what it's going to be. And the quizzes, I'll try to not have any concepts in it, so it's fully programming. Okay? I may have a, so I'll try to have a very easy 2-minute question in it, and then a 5-minute question in it, and a 20-minute question in it, so you can exponentially get through. Okay? Small programming stuff. Okay? But I'll do my best to extract all the quizzes from the notes I write in class. Okay? And I'll tell you what the questions are the week, like 3-4 days before, hopefully. Yes?
Will there be like a main repository from Git where all our workshops will be, or everything be on Blackboard?
Nothing's going to be on Blackboard. Everything's on GitHub. Everything's on GitHub. On Blackboard, you just see your marks and links. That's all I use it for. So all the notes and everything that you're going to have is going to directly go on GitHub. Okay? Anything else?
How many weeks will we have for a workshop?
We have 4 workshops, so say every 2 weeks, 1 workshop, approximately. But the last workshop is the biggest one, so you're going to have more time to do it. Okay? Last workshop, I think you have, so the first, second, and third workshop are pretty easy to do. The last workshop, I think it has 2 or 3 milestones, 2 milestones, something like that.
That's going to be like the project from the last?
No, not OOP345. OOP345, like you have 5 milestones, 6 submittables. It's not like that. Probably this one's going to be 2 milestones and 2 submittables, something like that.
What's the situation of a strike?
I have no idea. You just, I have no idea. I hate it, but I don't know. I don't even know who's like, if are we going on strike or the IT? I really don't know, seriously.
We just got an email.
You just got an email?
We just got an email, potential action starting on the 9th, Thursday.
Just for real,
I have to talk to my chair and see who's doing the strike. Like if it's the IT or it's us, or because I don't know who's doing this strike.
All academic employees, professors.
Seriously?
This is written.
Damn.
oh, nice, just arrived. About 5 minutes ago.
And you ask me what is it?
Yeah,
I'll
I
try.
knew it was a specific college, but now that it extended to every college now.
Oh, okay, we'll see. I don't know. I, from the bottom of my heart, I hope there's no strike.
And it says we don't know at the start what type of labor action could take place. It could be work to rule, rotation, strike, or forced strike.
Okay, thank you. I'll check my email too when I have it.
Well, this is like you said, exponential proliferation.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Any other question? Depressing question? Any questions?
How to get motivated through the course, because it will get harder and harder in the course, and there will be, in some places, you will be really bad at coding.
Your motivation is this. I have so many students, I can say too many, not too many is a bad thing to say, so many students that I cannot even remember their names anymore, that they are making at least 10 times than I. So if you just, and this is not because they were genius, it was just because they studied. That's your motivation. And believe me, I'm not joking, this is not a joke. Like that big blue button thingy that is recording right now, like three of my students is working in that company, Blindside Networks, and one of them is one of the top levels of that place right now. So, I mean, I tell you, I get goosebumps because like he knows 10 times more than me. And what else can be more enjoying for a teacher? but that's what it is. So that's your motivation. And try to find use of your programming. Don't write a pretty program. Write a program that is useful. You see the submitter program I wrote? It's useful for us. It gets your work, it compiles, gives it to us so we know who did what. Is it pretty? No, it sucks. But it does the work, right? And everybody's using it. So it's something like that, something that you can use. And if you don't do it, no one else will. So anything that manages your work, just do it. And if you have any problem with implementation and stuff, you can always come to me. Any other thing? Questions? Suggestions? Objections? Electronic device. Actually, you want to take a break or you want to go break or earlier? How many people want to go break? How many people want to go earlier? Okay. So electronic devices. For all the beautiful people who are using computers, okay? Our brain is analog. Computers don't work. You cannot take notes. That doesn't do anything. When you take notes, you do analog, it actually gets committed to your long-term memory. That doesn't work. Okay? We have one processor in our brain. Whoever says we are multitask, you're all either you have some kind of a different type of brain or you're lying. Nobody can do two things at the same time. Okay? We can't. We don't have 16 cores. We have one core. Okay? So when you pay attention to yourself, to your computers, they're just distraction. Okay? Now, I'm saying that. I'm not telling you because you know better. Maybe you do that, and it's the best thing ever happened to you. Okay? I read papers from universities and tell you the outcome of the result of a research. But what happens individually, it's you and you're all adults. If I catch one of you smiling at your screen, everybody loses their device. Because I don't want to waste my time policing who's actually watching that, I don't know, fails on YouTube. Okay? So be careful. All right? That's all I'm saying. All right? That's that. All right. So, repository. So I'm going to create a repository for now in here. If I later on, I'll talk to the other profs and see if they're okay. I'll move it to the organization. Otherwise, the path is going to be here. So repositories, new. So what do I call it? So OOP345 2251. No, that's too bad. 2251 OOP345. Is that good enough? Anybody else a better name, or that's good enough? So that's the repository. Everything's going to go in. It's going to be a public repository. You're going to add a README file. And so you can literally see how you're going to create your repository to share it with me. Okay? So in here, I'm going to add a README that is, and .gitignore file that is C++. What .gitignore does, it does a smart upload and download. So in Git, when you say push, that means upload. When you say pull, that means download. A push uploads the differences upstream, which essentially means to GitHub. A pull pulls the differences downstream, which means to your computer. Are we clear on this? Push, upload, pull, download. Okay. Git is a distributed system. What does it mean? It means several.
Basically, it means that it optionally can be centralized. Um,
No, it is recording. Trust me.
yeah, definitely. Long story short, it was built by the guy that made the Linux kernel,
Yes,
Linus Torvalds himself.
that's Git, not distributed programming.
Yeah, no, the logic behind it is that he had trouble coordinating people with a centralized system, and
Go ahead, go ahead.
he basically made it so that everyone had their own local centralized system, but that is decentralization per se, and then they all pull it to the same place in order to coordinate. That's how Git was born.
Fantastic. So Git, Linus Torvald, that's the guy. Okay, so that actually, Linus Torvald, that actually the guy who created Linux, okay? The best operating system in the world. And again, as he said, people started contributing to it and he couldn't manage all the things. So he created the second best thing in the world, which is Git. Git is an amazing thing. When I say distributed, is that it not only creates clones of code, which means you have a series of code that you have over here. You copy it somewhere else as a clone. And then you change one of them, and then you update the other one with it. They put them in sync. Not only that, but the executable itself is like that, which means the Git that you install on your computer is the exact Git that is working on GitHub. They are both exact same applications. So your computer is a small GitHub. The people in GitHub, they were smart. As soon as it came up, it says, wait, people want to have some place to have all these master repositories. Let me create a server farm to keep all those so people can have it and then share with each other. And that's how GitHub came to be. So you install Git over here, and this Git ignore, when you do push and pull, it ignores the files that are not supposed to go up there, like executables and configuration files that you don't need. All the stuff that you upload anyway and just waste space, that's what it does. So it's extremely important to keep that thing in the root of your repository. And that's going to prevent garbage to go up and down, especially on Matrix. Like many of you probably use SFTP to put something on Matrix, right? With Git, you don't need to do that. Just clone the repository on your Matrix. Push it to upstream, go on Matrix, say pull, poof, everything comes over there. You don't need to upload anything to Matrix anymore. I don't even know why anybody does that now. It doesn't make sense anymore. Okay? So, and the process of how to create all the things that you need to do on Matrix is in Workshop 0. So go through it. It tells you exactly how to do it. Okay? How does all this distributed things work? There are two things. You can do kindergarten way, which means every single time enter user ID and password so Git knows it's you. Or you can actually create keys. Okay? A key, and again, I'm telling you all these things very quickly. You don't need to learn it. It's just knowing it is important. A key has two parts, a primary key and a public key. A public key and literally is this, okay? A public key is, say, the slot of the key that you have at your door. And the key that you have, the create, is the key that you put it in there. So one is kept in GitHub, the other one is in your account. When GitHub connects, when your computer connects to Git to push or pull, it gives the key to GitHub. GitHub matches the key. If it's a match, primary and public keys matched, you're authenticated. You don't need to enter user ID and password. I explained exactly how to create those keys on your Windows, Mac, or Linux in Workshop 0. So you can create those things, therefore you don't have any problem, okay? So anyways, so that's that. So I'm gonna create this. So I'm gonna say create the repository. Repository is created. And now the cloning happens. Now I'm gonna click over here, and as you see, it's on SSH. SSH means I have a key. If you go over here, go CLI, it's a GitHub command line, you have to install another thing. I don't like anything other than Git to be in my computer. There is the software that I asked you to install on Windows called TortoiseGit. TortoiseGit is not a a client. It is just a shell that runs the Git command lines using mouse and clicking. So you don't have to get involved with it. And I don't want you to get involved with because Git is very complicated. Like, just knowing basic stuff is enough. Anyways, so an HTTPS is just a download. You can't do anything else with it. So SSH is the one that I'm going to use. And I'm going to say, OK, with SSH, this is the path of the repository that is copied. Now I'm going to go in my computer, OOP345. And in here, I'm going to say 2247. No, it was last semester. I just want to move these over there. OK. Seriously? Everything's there. OK. Now I'm going to right-click. This is Tortoise Git now. I'm going to go git clone. You see that? I could have opened the user interface and say git clone, write the path, hit enter. But instead, I'll do git clone. And whatever is in clipboard, it's going to put it in here. And I'm going to say pick up my key from here. You see over here it says Tortoise Git private PPK. That's the key that I'm going to send to GitHub. And in GitHub, I created the match for it. Now I'm going to click on OK and done. OK? So now what you see in here, 2251 OOP345, is the exact clone of what I have over there. Now, the git ignore over here is not complete. It is for C++, but it's not complete. So I'm going to borrow what I created for this one, and you should do the same. So I'm going to get the git ignore from here, copy, and paste it over here. Over it, replace. Now you see it's red. It means it's been modified. Now I want to know what is the modification. What changed in it? I right-click over here, Tortoise Git, if. These are the differences. See the yellow ones? They don't exist in the old version. This is how you see how I fix your code. When you create your code and you have a problem, I clone it on my computer. I fix it in front of you. You go through it and see everything's good. And I push it. Then you pull, you diff. You can see what I did to fix your code. Then all you need to do is to reflect on it. OK? That's all. OK? And that's what it is. So these are the stuff that are added. So Code Light, Visual Studio, Xcode, everything that, like, all, I don't want garbage to go, so I put all those things over there so the garbage stuff won't get uploaded or downloaded or something like that. Then we are in section A, so I'm going to create over here. I'm going to create over here NAA. That's your section, right? And now I'm going to open Visual Studio, and 3 years later, when it opens, I'm going to create a new project. Empty project. Oh, empty project, double click. Now I'm going to go to that repository. And this is how you work every day in your own repository. Please don't create 5 copies of the same thing here or there with different versions. Just clone the repository on GitHub. Do all the work in there. That becomes your home for OOP345. Now I'm going to go in NAA. So this is what I'm creating the project. Now in here, I'm going to say this is 01 dash, it's January 6th, right? January 6th. This is what we are here now, right? So I'm going to say create. And a few years later, we're going to have the code created, the project created. Update later, not now. I don't have time. And now in here, I'm going to go to the, and this is what you need to do. I'm going to go to the properties of the project, and I'm going to use C++ 20 standards. We do C++ 17. You put it on 20, please, because I may have little stuff over there that doesn't. So that means you don't know why what I'm doing then.
I know that there are some set of standards. It's just that I'm surprised that because most of the examples
No, 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 no. It's 17. It's 17, but put it on 20 anyway. It's backward compatible. There's nothing wrong. But if you ever do that little thing that is above 17, you're not going to get disappointed and think it's an error, right? So it's just put it over there. It doesn't hurt. You can do 17, but I always do 20 in case I add something. Anyways, so and click on OK. Well, for what I do, C++ 94 will work because I'm just going to say hello. That's it. So that's that. I'm going to say add new item. And this is usually how we start, prg.cpp. And include IO stream using namespace std int main return 0 welcome OOP345NAA. Compile and run. Execute. Voila, it works, hopefully. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. And then I'll do this. Commit. That commits the changes to my Git repository here. I didn't push it, I committed. Okay? Commit is your friend. Every 5, you go to the washroom, commit, say, going to the washroom. Commit. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You come back, you do a little bit of coding, you screw everything up, and you say, shoot, it worked before I went to the washroom. You can actually revert it back to that. That's the beauty of Git. You can simply say, I want to go back to that situation that I was before. Even you can see, what did I change? You can see the diff between now and the commit that I went to the washroom. Everything is traceable. So remember that, okay? So now in here, I'm going to say, saying hello. I'm going to commit. Oh, and obviously, I'm going to add everything. If you are doing command line, first you have to say git add the new files to it, then you have to commit. But because it's an interface, I commit and I see simply add everything. Because I have .git ignore, it only adds what's needed, not garbage. Only the 2 VCX that are needed, and only this one, nothing else. Okay? And then I click on commit. Now it's committed to mine. Now everything is here. If you don't want to push it, if you are in a cottage, you don't have internet, no worries. Don't push. Just do your stuff. Keep committing. Okay? And then when you go to a place where you have internet, then you push. Then all the changes, commits, history, everything that you have done will be pushed upstream. It's a beautiful thing. You have no idea how much helpful it is. Okay? Now I'm going to click on push. Now it's going to be in the repository over here. And that's what I said, my friend over there with green rugby t-shirt. Yeah, so this is, so you immediately, whatever I do, you see it's going to go up there, and the code is up there, and we have it. All right? And as soon as I make a change, and welcome again. Save, run. I can now, I don't need to add anything. I just commit. Did I close it? I just commit. So in here, I'm going to say commit. And as you see, it's this one. You see that? All right? I can even do this. And it shows me what I changed. You see that? So it is, and then in here I'm going to say hello, saying hello again. Commit. I can choose to push or push later, but I'm going to push anyway. Okay? So it goes up. Now you can go to your local repository right over here and say tortoise git log. Where is log? There's somewhere should be show log. There you go. Now it says saying hello was this. If you click over here, it shows all the things happened at that commit, and the other one, and the other one, and so we can trace your work as you're going through it. Are we good? And that's it. And then you can pull everywhere, anywhere you want. But remember, if you're pulling your repository on a local computers over here, don't keep it on the T drive. Remember, don't pull, have a memory stick. Don't worry that I'm going to lose my work. If you just push it, who cares? Throw the key away. Okay? But don't put it on the T drive on the local computers. This is extremely important, and we have so many cases of plagiarism when the person whose code someone else was using did not even know. Don't put your code on the T drive. Okay? Delete it. If you put it on T drive, somebody reboots the computer, T drive remains, which means they're going to come back, woohoo, the project is done, or the workshop is done. I'm just going to get it. And they even forget to change your name. Yes?
And keep it private on GitHub too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's. Oh, yeah, yeah. So this is public. Your repository is going to be private, and that's why I am the contributor to it. So I can add to it if I want to, and I can see it and no one else. Okay? If you want to work with your friend together, I don't say no. But make sure your code and stuff are not identical. Okay? But if you want to collaborate with your friends and stuff, you can always have the same repository and collaborate on things together. There's no problem. Practice. It's good for your health. Okay? We good? So that's that. That's how we work. And then we're going to start studying. So the next day you are coming in, a workshop that you have. It's a little awkward because you have the lecture now and you have the workshop on Friday. The next class has the lab first. That is tomorrow. And the lectures, well, I don't know how I'm going to put that thing. I don't know how it's going to work. So probably, I don't know. I'll do something. Okay? So, yeah, that's that. Any questions, suggestions, objections of any kind? Nothing? All right, so that's that. And again, you can see all these things in the repository too. So if I just do it like that, you will see that. There you go, saying hello again. And if you click over there, then it shows you exactly the changes. So everything that you do, as I told you, they're all the same. You do it on GitHub, exactly the same thing. You do it on Tortoise Git. They're all just different clients working as a shell over Git commands. Are we good? All right, so I'm going to post all these good stuff and all the policies and stuff, and hopefully I can actually create a quiz out of it so everybody read it and actually answer it. And we'll go through it. And another thing I want to tell you right now before we go, that's the last thing I'm going to tell you. I apologize right now for forgetting your name. I'm very bad with names and murdering them because I cannot pronounce it properly probably. So I sincerely apologize. It's just we are all Canadians and we have all the colors of the rainbow in this country. So it's a beautiful thing actually. All right. Are we done? Anything else?
Just a quick question.
Yeah. Not quick. Make it last.
So I'm using a Mac. I use VS Code right now, but I saw on a YouTube video you use Xcode. Do you prefer that?
Use Xcode. Use whatever you want.
Okay.
But the problem is that when I get it, I'm going to switch it to Visual Studio because I can't do those.
Right.
Okay? I'm used to that. Visual Studio Code is an amazing thing, actually. The code is an amazing tool. But you need to know how to. So you only use it to edit it, or you actually bind it to the compiler on your machine, or you compile it separately.
No, I run it and compile it all on VS Code.
Good. So if you can do it, sure. And it's a good idea to actually post how to do it to every other people in Mac. So actually in OOP345 last semester, I think, somebody asked me to create a separate channel for Mac users to help each other. So you can do that. You can actually post stuff over there and help other people do it too. I really appreciate it. Again, if you are using IDEs that I don't know, then I cannot help you with the IDE. I can just help you with the code. Does that make sense? All right. Anything else? But Xcode is a good thing. You have a Mac, use it. It's not one of those M thingies, are they? Is it M1? And like,
Yeah, it's one of the newer ones.
oh, one of the new ones. Okay. It's just because another thing that you can do is download Fusion. You know what Fusion is from VMware? You can download Fusion for Mac.
Also a virtual machine?
Yeah, literally a virtual machine. Install Windows on it, and set it to use all the resources of the computer. So you can just bring it up, work with it, and shut it down. Your Mac goes back to its good self, and you have both operating system, and you can experiment on both. I love virtual machines. Like, you destroy it, and it's just this software. Uninstall it, and nothing happens. So that's a good thing to do too. Anything else?
Thank you for the tip with the Matrix. I had no idea that it could be useful.
Oh yeah, that's because, again, if you don't do it, you're going to go out of Coda in 3 seconds. Okay, careful, okay? Because if you just upload stuff, you're going to run out of space on Matrix so easily. All right? Anything else? All right, have yourself a beautiful day. I'm going to stop the recording.